talk about how to rebuild the confidence of the poor. 3 years ago, back in 2012, I took a gap year. I went to a poor village called Xuechunzi in Sichuan province of China as a volunteer teacher, in order to be a tough toad, I say. So in that village, I met a little girl. She and her family completely changed my view of poverty.
我叫熊建平，今年6岁，我家住在周家坪，这儿就是我的家乡。我们这的天很蓝，水很绿，可是山路很难走，大人们每次去城里都要好几天才回来，也几乎没有外人到过我们这儿来。我们村子有40多户人家，邻居之间很熟悉。我每天早上5点起床，做饭喂猪，照顾1岁的妹妹，然后上学。我的爸爸去城市打工了，妈妈在家种地。妈妈告诉我，她15岁的时候也去过城市打工，当时看到了一个让她惊讶的东西，衣服放到里面，不一会儿就洗好了。妈妈费了好大的劲儿把这个叫洗衣机的东西搬回来，村里人没有人见过这么神奇的东西，都跑到妈妈家来看。妈妈总是说，村子里什么都没有，我们没办法和城里比。每年最期待过年了，因为那个时候爸爸就回来了。爸爸说，城里有好多我们村里没有的好吃的好玩的。虽然在城里干活可以赚很多钱，可是爸爸不是很喜欢那里。他总是说，城里人和我们不一样，他们都不愿意跟我们说话。有一次偷听到爸爸对妈妈说，坐公交车和去超市的时候都会受到城里人嫌弃的目光。我从没有出过村子，也许不久的将来我也会出去读书，但是我很害怕，怕城里人看不起我，嫌弃我，我到底该怎么办呢
？As you can see in the movie, I also was wondering why the villagers have so little confidence. They just go out from their village, they work far from home, they make money, they even got to buy a washing machine. But still, they have no confidence. A little girl in the video, we call her Kuma-chan. Her sense of inferiority had been with her since when she was born, even though she had never gone out of the mountain. You might think the reason why the villagers are now the problem themselves is due to the shortage of materials. At least that is what I thought initially. But after spending 1 year closely with locals, I started to see the true reason. I, myself, is the reason. People like me who are trying to help are actually causing them to believe that they are inferior to us. We are imposing our own ideas of ideal on the villagers and hope they could catch up with our steps. But all we have done was just to convince them that they are left behind. It's like a person has been deaf for his whole life, from day one to now. His life is just as normal as yours and ours, because he has nothing to compare to. So him being deaf is equivalent to us hearing things. And the first time he realizes something's off is when we start talking to him. Unfortunately, the situation in Zhoujiaping had been the same. For the past 5 years, there have been all kinds of continuous aid programs, which indeed have had some positive impact in part, but which at the same time were killing their confidence. Giving them money, giving them nutrient food, all of these were just reminding them the fact that they are left behind, that they have no money, no food, no nothing. And sadly, even education cannot escape from this vicious cycle. When I was a volunteer teacher at the elementary school, children always came up to me and said, "Oh, Miss Bai, you guys in cities, you have airplanes, iPhones, computers, and movie theaters. That's really cool. But look at us. Look at here. We have nothing. Why?" You see, I was a murderer who had been killing their confidence. And maybe that is what caused the situation of Kuma-chan's family. Therefore, I felt an urgent obligation to make some change. And last year, 6 friends of mine and I started social business. Unlike existing projects, our business mainly focusing on the psychological issue, the lack of confidence. As you know, it is easy to give money, but not easy to give confidence. So we have changed the rule of the game totally. We decided to switch the role of the players. Instead of sending people to the village to help, we think it might be interesting to seek help from the village. Seeking help from the village means to explore the villagers' strength in order to solve problems in cities. And this will help villagers realize that there is something about them that is different and even superior to people from cities. And once this something is also recognized by city dwellers, the villagers can see their own value and then build up confidence. However, does the poor village individual really have this kind of something? The answer is an absolute yes. In past decades, major cities in China like Beijing and Shanghai sees a rapid growth in economy and a dramatic change in lifestyle. Children of this generation are only child due to the policy you might know. And being the gems of their families, those kids are born to be spoiled. They end up growing to unpleasant little human beings who are self-centered, picky, and demanding, and those we call the little emperor. Ironically, but fortunately enough, those little emperor's parents were getting anxious about their ungrateful babies. According to our survey, most of them want their children to get away from their cozy homes and receive trainings. And this is when Zhou Jiaping grabs this business opportunity to meet city dwellers' demands with their hard living conditions, simple life, hard-working villagers, and sensible children. Well, you may ask whether this idea would actually work. Will the rich family really want to pay money just for a hardship experience in a remote village? Or will the villagers really obtain confidence just through such a project? To be honest, we were also anxious and uncertain about this until last August, when we actually carried out this project. Our project was called Open the Door. A wealthy family of 3 showed interest in our project. And after this test tour, we had a 1-day, 2-night hardship experience tour. After this tour, we saw a light of hope. The father from the wealthy family was very satisfied. He gave us feedback as, "This is amazing. It's even better than a cramming school." And the villagers became more confident. Through discussion with us and contact with the rich family, they started to be aware of their own advantages. For example, Kuma-chan gets up at 5 o'clock in the morning, helps her mother to prepare breakfast, and looks after her little sister. This Kuma-chan's daily routine actually surprised the rich family the most. And the very idea of putting this scene into our project actually came up from the villagers themselves. And this was made possible because we used the PDCA cycle. Plan, do, check, adjust. Most existing businesses tend to see poor people as simple labor forces. They think about ideas and plans at their offices and just leave the do part to villagers. But villagers will not feel rewarded by this. It's just like our daily office work. Just think about this. Do you feel more rewarded after completing a task that your boss gave you, or a task you came up by yourself? Obviously, right? Therefore, we decided not to leave the do part with the villagers. Instead, we cherished the original ideas from the villagers, and we invited them to play a leading role of the whole PDCA cycle. And the idea of putting Kuma-chan's daily routine into our project was brought up through the plan process. And also, seeing their ideas appreciated and receiving feedback from the rich family, the villagers became more confident. For example, before the start of the project, no one was willing to cooperate with us because they felt that there's nothing they could do to help me. But after the project, 4 families told me that they want to participate. Moreover, the villagers in Zhoujiaping went to other villages with big smiles on their faces and sharing their experience and telling other villagers that even a poor village can have its own strength, its own business opportunity. With commitment and perseverance comes unprecedented transformation. I felt so gratified about the change of the villagers. During the last 2 years after getting back from the village, I've been receiving various criticism. Once, I told a friend of mine about my great vision and those little touchy stories of experience in the village and some details about my project. And he was like, wow, that sounds great, but should I be part of it? God, no. However, every time I see the tiny yet real achievement from our last project, I pick up my confidence and courage and move a step toward. Therefore, we are here to welcome suggestions and valuable insights of all kinds. Last but not least, let me read a letter from Kuma-chan. Dear Sister Bai, I feel really sorry that I wasn't able to say goodbye to you. What happened to me this week really changed my life. I had no idea what we were capable of. I want to grow up soon. I want to make my village a better and cozier place to live within. And I'm looking forward to becoming a better me. I will cherish every day in my life and strive for my dream constantly. Thank you for coming to Zhoujiaping. We will always welcome you. I can imagine that someday the speaker standing here, where I am standing right now, would be a lovely young lady. And her name is Kuma-chan. Thank you.